Gamers, I am sick. I don't know if these maps are 100% gonna make it to the ladder, but these two maps that I'm about to show you are one of the 8 maps that are being added for Season 3. I don't know if they're gonna be in the rank map pool. I would assume so at a point. So I'm gonna show you this one specifically, and the second one is a tournament map. But who knows, it might make it into the ladder map pool, which is just a really cool map, and I wanted to show you guys, or we'll see what I'll do for the second one. Either way, I am sick, and I've been skipping YouTube uploads and YouTube streams here and there. This is from a tournament I played this last, just this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. And this is a match in group stage against MarineLorD. Spoilers, you know, if you're gonna watch the tournament VODs or something, or on Aussie Drongo's channel, spoilers. I advanced the group together with Kazva, and we played a best of 7 in the finals, which I managed to win 4-2. Yeah, I'm not gonna be super, you know, hyperactive. Like I said, my throat hurts. I'm very sick, but I need content, and you guys need content. So here we go. So this map is called Prairie, and this was the game 1 in the best of 3 against MarineLorD. Maybe I'll skip the second game against MarineLorD because it's on a tournament map, and I'll try to maybe bring you guys another ladder map instead, just to show you the gameplay there and how it works. But yeah, this map, and this is the new fancy overlay, by the way, we got, or not me, but the game for Season 3. This is the overlay that's coming, which is really, really cool. So this is an in-game overlay. You can see the incomes, or you can see the worker splits, all the upgrades, worker kills on the bottom, sacred size relics, and so on and so forth. So what is this map about? I'm not going to look at my spawn. I play Mongols here, MarineLorD plays French. I'm not going to look at my spawn because I moved to PC. I want to show you what the normal spawn looks like. So this is MarineLorD, and the unique stuff about this map is you spawn with a rich gold and rich stone. So you might be like, that's OP, you never need to move out of the map. Well, actually, this map has no wood, so this is your main wood line. I don't mean this is the small wood line, I mean this is your main wood line. That's it, right here. So you know that other maps have wood lines that are like this size approximately, right? Well, this map has tiny wood line, and if you look at the mini-map, there are no wood lines anywhere that are big. It's all just a bunch of these small wood lines. So most maps require you to go out on the map to get food. This map requires you to go out on the map to get wood. It makes it very difficult to transition to farms, because if you're making units, you're not going to have enough wood for farms. And you run out of wood super fast on this map. Like, if you thought on the other maps you run out of food fast, you run out of wood even faster. So, like I said, I would assume, I don't have any secret info, so I'm not leaking anything, but I would assume that this map will be played on the ladder at a point. And I just wanted to share you guys my experience, because I've been practicing that map, you know, without revealing any secret strats. But this map is very cavalry based, because first of all, it's a big map. I know it might not seem like it, but when you play, it just seems massive, and it seems bigger than any other map. And this is because there's lack of wood lines, and there's a lack of mountains. Like, there's a tiny mountain here, but not really. So whenever you play this map, it just feels way bigger, and walling off on this map is a huge issue. Because if you want to wall, like, let's say as MarineLorD, right, you want to wall off this side, like, where do you wall? Like, from here to here, and then you wall off from here to where? To here? Like, that's going to disappear very soon. So you got to do these massive walls, but then you're going to need to chop this wood, right? Because on most maps you can connect your walls to these small wood lines, but the problem is you're going to have to use them. So you're going to chop through them, so you don't necessarily want to connect to those. But then if you go for a massive wall, that's insane amounts of wood, and you don't have wood. So that's the unique part about this map. And out of the new maps, this one has recently been changed. A lot of things have been, you know, fixed. They put in less food and stuff, because there was like 2 boars next to your TC, basically, almost. I would say Mediterranean and this map are probably the more, or not the more, the only playable maps I feel like that are not bad, they're decent. A lot of players dislike this map because of lack of wood, and it definitely forces you to play a certain way. But it is more playable now than it was before the changes. So, like I said, this map is going to be very, very aggressive. And the thing about this map is, when you go cavalry, your opponent goes spearmen. It's a little bit difficult to go archers, because if the opponent raids you as well, like, your woodlines are super open. So imagine if MarineLorD chops this through. His other safest woodline is either this forward woodline or this back woodline that is very far away. So it's very easy to raid. Again, you can't really wall off. So going for archers is possible, but if you go for archers, it kind of sinks into your wood economy and then delays maybe farms further. And another thing I forgot to mention is the deer packs or this map are in 3, right? So they're not like 7 deer packs and you just plant a TC there or something and you're good to go. They're in only 3 at a time. So I think there's the same amount of deer as normal maps, but the deer are very spread out. So even if you go for food, it's like it runs out super quick. There are boars that are close to your base, so this is something that's map specific. So this one spawned really good for MarineLorD, like at the back of his base, pretty much in like the best position possible. Mine was more to the side, but the boars are not usually in the middle of the map. So you have like that where you can place a second TC or something if you want it on the board. Like for him, if he managed to put a TC here, that'd be like gold, wood, and boar, which is pretty good. So, here I go for a tower rush, and the thing is, usually when you do a tower rush, you know, you just go to the second wood line, or, you know, if I tower here, you make a lumber camp here, but this wood line is so small that one tower just covers it completely. So then he had to chop wood on these small trees around his base, the straggler trees, and then he moved to the back eventually, which then exposed him more, and he had to make units to defend it, and so on and so on. So on this map, you gotta play very aggressive, and you gotta make sure you're protecting your resources. Another thing about this map, it has twice the amount of sheep than a normal map. So as you can see, MarineLorD has 19 sheep. Oh fuck, I forgot what was the hotkey. There was a hotkey to select all of them. But yeah, he has like 23, 24 sheep, and if you look at my side, I also have a decent amount. I only have actually 9, but I don't think all the sheep have been... Yeah, we didn't collect all the sheep because the game started off pretty aggressive. So I think it has double the sheep. Maybe it has a bit less than double, but it has a crap load of sheep. So yeah, even though you will have food for a very, very long time, you will need wood to get out on the map. Another thing is, if your gold gets towered, the second gold feels like it's a lot farther away than on normal maps, because your first gold is rich gold, so it doesn't make sense for them to put another gold like right here. You can see there's a gold here, but that is kind of far, right? And it's same with stone, like you have another stone here, but these are not necessarily protected under your TC, so you can also tower rush or, you know, just attack those. So on this map, there's been a lot of like Dark Age aggression in general. You can actually go second TC. It's just you have to make units. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. You have to make units because you need to constantly be mobile with your wood chopping and food gathering, and you can't just make a tower everywhere or wall. Like if I go chop wood here, I can't just make a tower because there's lack of wood, so you don't want to spend it on towers. And also you can't really just wall and stuff. And you'll see in this game that I'll kind of speed through because I wanted to... Sorry, my throat hurts. I wanted to more so talk about the map, not so much about the game itself, right, or the builds themselves. But I just wanted to explain you guys a little bit and kind of explain what the map is about and how it's right now usually played. assuming there are no changes. So you can see he's still in the straggler woods for quite a while, and this map has a few more straggler trees. And now once he's made some, he had to go spearman as French because he knew that I'm gonna make horsemen. So he had to go spearman archer in order to be able to take this wood camp or lumber. Otherwise, he would just be forced to, you know, just not have any. And if you look, there's so many workers going. It's 17 workers going on wood, which is, again, quite a huge investment to do so. And like I said, I pulled a boar here. You know, a very good and fortunate boar spawn for him, like I said, because yeah, he just killed the boar and got the mill and then got the boar as well. But if the boar was like somewhere here, he would also be struggling for food quite a bit. So from here on out, I try to do raids, and it's funny how this works because there are civs that can boom and do well here. I think every map can be or is good on this map, or every civ, sorry, is good on this map. But the funny thing is, you would think that Mongol would be really bad on this map, because not on the early game but later in the game, because you can't wall. But because it's so hard to wall, the walling only happens super late game, because you can't really afford to spend that much wood or stone in order to wall. So Mongols not being able to wall is actually like, it's not a weakness, it's like, oh, we're on equal grounds instead. So yeah, anyway, so I think here he goes for siege workshop. He gets the ram, destroys the tower slowly, and I think I went from here on out, I put another tower here. I went into fast castle, and then I started going more and more knights because, you know, I just wanted to kind of keep raiding. And he was already put in this position where he has to play defensive with infantry, and obviously as a French civ, you don't want to really be playing like that, right? So here he starts working with the towers. I get the age up, and soon I start vacuuming the relics, and I get the sacred sites. But you'll see, like, he just went to this woodline, right? And you can see how delayed his DC is. It's at 11 minutes, right? Like, that's crazy delayed. And that's just because of the woodlands and the way they work, right? So another important thing is civs like Rus are actually good, but also bad on this map. And again, it's funny how the map works. Rus should technically be really good on this map because it's so open and you can get the boar easily and you can be aggressive. The funny part is, like, if this is your starting wood line, you can't really make a wooden fortress for extra wood because it costs 175 wood. And how much wood is there here, right? It's like 1,000 and 200, 300 wood. So it's like, do you want to make it? It just seems like you're wasting so many resources on the wooden fortress that by the time it like kicks in, you're gonna be out of there. So it's like, do you make a wooden fortress? Then do you make another one here? Do you make another one here? Do you make another one? Okay, here you can like. Thing is, you can kind of put a tower here, so then you can put a lumber camp here, right? But then you have these ones, and it's just kind of weird. Another thing is Rus, when they put a hunting cabin, they get like no gold. You get like 12 gold a minute on start, which on most other maps you get like 27 initially. 26, 27. So Rus here, like, I don't even know if it's worth opening hunting cabin because you just get no gold out of it. So it's like, do you want to invest 100 wood? I don't know. So you have a lot of stuff like that where certain civs that are more wood focused, like English, you want to play without longbows completely because longbows and archers, just like I said, deplete your wood pretty fast. So it's like you want to focus on more gold units. So the map plays out, like I said, in a very interesting way where it's like there's no wood, so you want to fight for wood, but because there's no wood, you actually don't want to make units that cost wood. who want to make gold units, but by making gold units, then you need to secure gold, so then gold becomes the most important resource. So I would say, after they fixed this map, because initially it was atrocious, it became a lot better, and it is, I will give them that, it is a unique map. Whether the map is good or not, I think that's subjective. So far from the games that I have seen or played, it does provide for unique games. It does provide for aggressive games, and you know, I guess that's good, right? Is Kremlin good on this map? Well, no, that's the problem, right? Because if you make Kremlins, it's going to deplete the forest really fast, so you're not going to get a lot of value out of it. But yeah, here you can see now, I'm just doing a lot of raids. He's trying to play defensive. I already have some pastures going. I'm getting some berries. But you can see already, right? We are 15 minutes into the game. Look how far my villagers are as Mongol, which is a save that usually can stay around their TC for like 30 minutes almost. I have to go so far out from my TC in order to get anything done. And the good thing is, like I said about this map, is you have so many sheep that you can stay on food for a while. But once that depletes, you're gonna have to be more active on the map as well. In general, I think every civ is viable here. I don't think there's any civ that's bad necessarily. It's just so that you have to adjust your style no matter what civ you play. Like, if your style is mass siege archers, that's not, it's just not gonna work. Like, there's no wood for that. So you have to be very careful to not run out of food, to not run out of wood, and to make sure you protect the map. So again, in this position, like I said, you could say, oh, but he can just wall off and prevent the raids. He only has 6 workers on wood, right? And those are the workers here. And soon he's gonna be running out of food. When I say soon, in like next couple of minutes, right? So he needs to think about potentially switching to farms. He needs to add more production. And again, if you were to wall, like, where do you wall? Like, this is massive. See that? That's like 100 wood. And it's like, what are you walling off? You're not walling off anything. I can just run by here, right? Or I can just run by on the north side, which is also massive. So that's why Mongols are like bad at this map, but also kind of good. But I guess if you reach the ultimate late game and there's stone walls, and obviously Mongol would be at a disadvantage. And I do think, if I remember, MarineLorD does wall up this side eventually. I'm trying to put towers. He spots this one immediately, so that's unlucky. Oh, he saw it with the tower, I think. But yeah, you can see how these workers are super exposed. I think I do a raid. I could have done a raid there now, but I think I do a raid there in a bit. He's now raiding me. And everywhere he goes, you can see, like, he's going for 3 deer, right? Only 3 deer. And he has to make a tower just to gain vision to see what's going on and where if I'm attacking and where I'm coming from. But you can see, like, the raiding in this map is very easy. And cavalry is definitely the king here. See the raid in the north. He chopped through all this wood that he had, so now he's on this wood line. And you'll see how quickly it just... this goes away. He came on this deer like 2 minutes ago. They're already gone. Completely out. So he's gonna do this tiny little wall, but I don't think he actually ever makes another wall, so it's kind of funny, right? It's just a tiny little wall, and it ended up not doing anything. Is English bad on this map? If you want to play the... see, that's... again, this is the funny part about this map, right? So that's an interesting question. Can you do longbow spearman on this map? It's really bad to do it, right? Because you don't have wood. But it's actually really good to do it because the opponent doesn't have wood. So in this situation, if I was English, I could spearman longbow this wood line, and then where is he gonna go? He needs to go back there. But then I can just rotate, right? But then that leaves my villagers exposed on wood, so then he can raid me even though I'm attacking him. So If there's any kind of early aggression, it's very important to not let your opponent gather wood. Doesn't matter what unit comp they're going for, because if you deny wood, they can't make units. Which, like I said, on most maps, you deny food and they can't make units. But here, food is not an issue for a while. So, yeah, it's a very interesting map, and like I said, the more I played, the more I you know, watched the games and had more experience on it. It kind of gave me more and more ideas. And when I played yesterday and the day before in the tournament, I tried to play the most obvious or normal civs on each map. Because, you know, Red Bull tournament is in 2 weeks, and I didn't want to like reveal my best picks, or like I didn't pick Malians and Ottomans, for example, because I didn't want to, for the opponents at the Red Bull to see how I play them. So I just decided to play the most standard civs and the way they're played, like Mongol Tower Rush, right? I didn't reveal anything, you know? So I tried to not like show too much, but like I said, this map you can play every civ, I think, because every civ will basically suffer and gain from the same woodline issues. Like, even if you're using a civ that doesn't require wood, you're gonna need wood for farms, you're gonna need wood for siege, you're gonna need wood for walls. So all the civs share that together. It's more so about preventing your opponent to get that wood, right? Which I thought was kind of interesting. So initially I said I didn't like this map at all, and before people say like, see, you changed your mind, well, not really. I changed my mind after the map was changed, because like I said, this map used to have a deer, if I remember correctly, next to your TC, like 7 deer, and there used to be like a boar there and then a boar here. Like, it was crazy. And then, like, the other goals were, I think, rich or something like that. Like, it was just crazy. It was way too many resources. So this is the changed version, which I think is improved. And I think the map will provide for some... I played this map once, there was 8 big deer packs. Right, there you go. Yeah, so now they changed it after the pro player feedback. They reduced the boars from 4 to 2. And yeah, you're right. I think there were 8 big deer packs, like 8 deer packs of 7 deer each, which is like do I even need to say that's fucking insane? So yeah. So you can see the raids are happening throughout the whole game. He never got to like finish the walling on the bottom. He got a keep here, and now if you look, we're approaching 25-30 minute mark, and this is where you need kind of more and more wood, right? You got more and more resources. He's got 50 workers in wood, which again in return leaves them exposed, so he loses workers. And you can see just how exposed his wood income is right now, and he has to make so many towers just to protect the wood income that will actually not last very long. And an interesting thing, by the way, regarding this overlay, this is how many workers you have killed. Okay, so I was also confused about that. I thought this is how many workers I lost, because that's how it is in most RTS games. It shows like workers lost, not workers killed. But yeah, this shows how many workers you killed, and this is, I'm not sure what actually. This is army values, this is relics obviously. The white thing is sacred sites, the yellow is the relics. And then I think this is the resources you've killed from your opponent or lost, one of those two. I guess we'll see now when something does. This number just moved. Is that the one? I guess we'll see in a second. Okay, let's see. This is about to die. 1480. Okay, so yeah, this is the amount of resources you have killed, not just in units, but in like buildings, villagers, whatever. It counts deleted, cancelled buildings too. Yeah, that should probably be fixed. But yeah, Overall, you can see more raids throughout the whole game, and once I did this massive raid, he sent a few units to defend it. He was defending on top side with a lot of units on the raid, and then he sent them around to do a counter, and that got his siege completely exposed. And siege on this map is good, but also bad. It's good because you can beeline to your opponent's base really quickly. It's bad if you get caught off guard like this, you're gonna lose all of your siege. Which, you know, I know I'm boring with this, but there's not a lot of wood, so you losing like 10 siege units is not a very good look. And it's gonna be very hard to recover, so I hit a timing here, and you can see, even though he has towers here, I just sent big raids, and he taps out. So I was gonna show you the second game of me against MarineLorD, but I realized that that is not, most likely not going to be in the ladder map pool. This is just a Red Bull map. It might be, I don't know. Let's show you, let's just show you this one actually. I'll make another video with the Mediterranean because Kasva, the game I played against them in the finals, did a new strategy with Malians that I want to show you guys so you can be prepared to play against it on ladder because I am sure you will meet it. So, this game is Golden, or this map, sorry, is Golden Heights, and I started with barracks, but then I changed my mind mid-game. Because I honestly, I wasn't thinking too clearly. Like I said, I felt very sick. I was like on painkillers and just not feeling too great while playing this tournament. Not because of the tournament, I'm just sick and still am. So, this is something you can implement in your games as well. So he played Delhi and I played English, and Delhi is decent on this map because you can create fishing ships, and then fishing ships from Delhi can shoot in Dark Age. So you can kill enemy fishing ships. So I played English, so you cannot go men-at-arm rush because the fishing ships will just kill your men-at-arms. So what I did instead is I didn't bring a villager, I brought 2 villagers, and when he went to build a dock, he couldn't because the 2 villagers from English would kill him, so he just ended up running away, so I managed to deny the dock successfully. This map is one of the maps that was, I think, specifically made for Red Bull. Like I said, we might see it in the future ladder map pools, I am not sure. And initially, like, I didn't really have any opinion on it. I haven't played it, so I was like, okay, let's, you know, play it a couple of times. And I think it's not a bad map. I was initially worried about these golds on the middle being too problematic. Like, you put a keep here, and then you control the rich golds. But there's, so this is where you spawn, and this is where your opponent spawns, right? So if you focus too much in the middle, you can actually get run-bys from this side or attack from this side. So you kind of have to play both sides. Like, a lot of people thought you'll be able to wall this off and then the opponent can't attack you at all. But it actually turns to be like a massive counterattack path. And the initial wood lines are here and here. And after that, you kind of have to go towards the middle of the map. So it kind of forces you to go towards the middle and fight over that. Now, you might wonder, like, depending what water map you play on, like, is it worth to build fishing ships on only 3 deep water fish? And the answer is yes, it is worth it. And the reason for that is, not because fishing from 3 deep water is going to be OP, it's because you are creating workers. So I'm creating 2 workers at a time right now. I'm creating fishing ships and villagers, while my opponent is just creating villagers. So that's the real power of it. Obviously fishing income is really good, right? But it's not just, like, that's not the only reason why you go for this. Because technically you could rush to feudal and then go second TC, right? But the reason why this is good is because you're basically fast expanded in feudal, and if you look at the worker count, it's 24 against 19. So economically, I am already ahead. Like, obviously I have less food income. That's because I have less workers on food in general. And most of my food income, and now I'm even going to move my workers to build the landmark. So his workers, or food income, is all from workers. Mine, you'll see now, a lot of it will just be fishing ships. So your economy is already growing, and this is kind of why people go for fishing in general, not just on this map, but on any map. It's very important to control that water. Now, these 3 deep water fish, like I said, are important early on, but later on, it's like, it's not that, like, if you have 100 workers on land, do you need these 3 deep water fish? No, you don't. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you're not gonna fight over this specific thing like 30 minutes into the game. But if you do have it in the early game, you will have a pretty big economic advantage. So, yeah. MarineLorD, when I did this, he went for Spearman and tried to destroy my dock. I built another dock. And there's a couple of funny moments in here that happen that I'll show you guys in a second. So he manages to destroy this dock. I do an explosive ship and I kill one of the workers, but not the second. I damage some spearmen. He starts making dock. So now I have a choice. I either protect my dock or I prevent him from making a dock. Arrow ships, by the way, can miss. So apparently this is intended. So just so you guys know, for Season 3, not all arrows, but arrow ships can be dodged. So if he took this spearman and moved it up and down, you can dodge arrows, just so you know. Just so you know. Let me see. Let's see. Is this only on the observer that the map is like this? I think it is, right? I'm pretty sure it's only on observing because of this thing right here that makes the map pushed out more. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try sort it for the next thing. I'll move it a little bit. I don't want to pause now and do a lot of ums. So anyway, he kills the dock. I denied this dock. So now the funny thing happens is I don't have fishing, right? I have 8 fishing ships, but I'm not fishing. So I tried to rebuild the dock, and this is just a series of unfortunate events for me, I would say. So he tries to kill the workers because he knows I'm going to try to rebuild the dock. I mow down the spearmen. And now I put both of my galleys here to try to build this. So check this. So he is dodging with this horseman as much as he can. And the horsemen are not taking enough damage, so the dog gets stopped. Not only that, in a bit, he will actually manage to finish a dock here. So I send more villagers. And now my food income goes to nothing, so I have to send workers here, and I had no food. So I had to pull all the workers from the wood. And so he knows I'm going to try to rebuild this. And while I was distracted on the map and everything, he manages to build his own dock. So right now, I pulled one worker through the middle here, one on the bottom. And I go for the dock. He sees me with the scout and moves insta. I go for it, and he fucking kills it. And my dock is like almost complete. Look at that. His dock finishes, and I'm like, oh my god. Here we go. But then the second Chad worker comes in. He sees it though. Monka S. And I was like, fuck me. I was 100% sure this worker is dead, but the Chad, boom, boom, and he finishes the dock. So I recover my food income, and this is when I'm like, oh fuck, he made a dock. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So I lost 4 workers basically to rebuild this, and then he built the Hulk, so then he countered my arrow ships, and I was just like... So So now I gotta go like explosive ship in order to counter this. But he built the arrow ship to counter the explosive ship, and I'm just like, fuck! So what I did instead is I knew that he's gonna commit a lot to the water here. So as he was committing to the water, and we were microing back and forth, I was making an explosive ship here and there, but not big of a committal. I just amassed big army on the middle of the map, and my water basically paid off. So even though he has stopped my water here, I did get enough resources to make it worth it. I did get enough value out of it. So now, because he committed so much to spearmen, to horsemen, to fighting ships as well, I managed to push on land. And you can see the army supply is even, but actually it's not, because a lot of his army supply is in these ships. So right now, I'm trying to deny wood. I scout here and I see all his wood stuff is here, or wood or food, whatever. And you can just see he doesn't have enough units. Here he goes for the engage. He pulls the workers, but it ain't gonna work. I sacrificed maybe too many of my spearmen here, but he just taps out because once these archers fall, I can just go kill all his workers. He's gonna transfer them here, then I'll just go around here, and that's the game over. So this is kind of like I said, I don't know, maybe this map makes it into map pool one day, but this is kind of the importance of water and why you go for water. So I hope, even though you know, it's not exactly the ladder map pool, hopefully the second part of it helped you understand why you go water and why it's important, even though there's not a lot of fish. Like, you don't necessarily need to get water the whole game, you just need to get it for long enough to kind of bump start your economy compared to your opponent, and then you can transition into multiple TCs or whatever else. So I'm gonna analyze this game next, which is a game that I want to show you guys with the interesting strategy. So the next video you guys are watching on YouTube, for the Twitch gamers, we're doing it straight away. But if you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be the next day. Showing you this game with the unique Malian strategy from Kasva, and also it's one of the new maps, one of the 8 new maps, and I'm assuming that one is also going to make it into the ladder map pool eventually. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. I am trying to keep up with YouTube uploads, but with being sick, with playing the tournaments, practicing off of stream, practicing on stream, and playing Wrath of the Lich King, and while hanging out with women, there's just no time in this world, you know. I'm trying my best, and the problem is I can't release too many specific things for you guys either on YouTube because you know, I don't want to reveal too much for tournaments, even though this was a tournament, so this is public info, but you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you guys for watching on YouTube. For the Twitch gamers, let's keep going.